Hi, and welcome to my channel, Becoming Bev. In today's video, we're going to discuss van life. It's been over 3 months since I've been on the road. I'm going to discuss the realities of van life, the highs and the lows. It's all part of it. So I want to start this video off by sharing a typical Bev experience. I was in Florida and I'm driving down the highway and I see this van going down the road, and I've learned to kind of recognize maybe who are van lifers and who are not. So I see this woman and I thought she's got kind of an interesting van, and I tried to kind of catch up with her, but the traffic didn't permit that. I pulled into a Walmart parking lot to get a few supplies, and 2 parking spaces over is this same van. So I see the girl in there and she and I are stepping out of the van at the same time. I introduced myself and I said, you know, what year is your van? And I told her about mine. And then she says, I have a YouTube channel. And I said, I have a YouTube channel. And she said, I live in my van. I said, so do I. We ended up doing about a 1-minute interview with each other. All right, so I saw this van going down the road and I thought, okay, I have to meet this chick and say hi. So we both just happened to pull into the same parking lot. She just happens to have describe your van.
A 1995 Chevy G20 van.
And a YouTube channel called?
Yes, my name is Alana Michelle. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel.
So anyway, not a random encounter, I don't think. I think we're supposed to meet each other.
Yeah.
So I'll show
the same life.
Here. And I didn't give it too much thought after that. I got busy, you know, with everything, traveling and everything I had going on. So yesterday, I had some free time and I thought, let me look up this chick's YouTube channel. So I look up her YouTube channel. Her name is Alana Michelle. And I look at what's her most popular video. Her most popular video is solo female van lifer poops outside. So I'm like, why not? So I click on it, you know, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my God. She puts our meeting, like my little cameo experience, at the beginning of her I pooped outside video. And I'm dying laughing and I'm just like, of course that's the video that I ended up on. So anyway, give her channel a watch. She's a hot mess, absolutely, but good for a giggle. I've had a lot of people reach out to me with this desire to do van life and, you know, asking my opinion about it. So today I'm going to share my experience with van life. But I also feel like I want to say this. If you're a happy person in life in general, you're probably going to be a happy person in van life. If you're not, then you're probably not going to be happy with van life. It's one of those deals, wherever you go, there you are. My experience of van life is my experience. I take myself with me. I take everything that I've learned. I take my attitude. I take my heart. I take my love. I take my frustrations, and you'll be taking the same thing with you in your van life. So I can't answer the question on whether you'll be happy with van life or not. Only you can do that. So let's start off with some of the highs of van life. Yosemite, absolutely magical experience, made me cry. Getting to share that with Angelina was absolutely magical. Yosemite is one of those majestic places that words just have a hard time describing. In the past 3 months, I've done some glorious hikes. I got to hike Gold Strike Canyon Hot Springs, one of my all-time favorites, with its golden cliffs and hot springs and the different colored algae, and getting to share that experience with my friend Rich was amazing. I also took the long way from Phoenix to Las Vegas by route of Sedona. Gorgeous, gorgeous walk in Sedona, and really appreciated the beauty of the area and the art of meandering. Sedona is a magical place, and if you get a chance to go there, you absolutely should have that experience. I got to hike the railroad tunnels around Lake Mead. I've done that hike probably 10 times. I absolutely love it. The views are spectacular. I went to Lukenbach, Texas for the first time. You can't help but think of the song Waylon and Willie and the Boys. I got to hear live music. It was the first time that I'd had that experience since before COVID. I've had it a few times since then, but that first time was pretty special. I've learned to really slow down with my van life. I don't get in a hurry when it's time to go. It takes me a little while to batten down the hatches and get the van ready to leave. I've also learned to love not speeding everywhere I go, and sometimes taking that long route makes the trip even better. I've got to stay in 17 different people's driveways. I counted it up this morning, and 3 different people from my YouTube channel that have reached out and said, hey, if you need a place to park, you're welcome to stay at my place. I think I have a couple of new friends for life out of this deal. Nilda in Miami, girl, thank you so much for your hospitality. What a blessing you are. One of the things that I've loved about my van life is that I take the time to go see people that I care about, and I have really special one-on-one time with them. And I don't feel too intrusive. I'm not inside their house, all up in their space, but I'm super appreciative for the hospitality and the wonderful meals and for showing me around. A few other highlights of the last 3 months is I got to meet Bob Wells. Bob did a tour of my van, and that should be airing on his channel later in the year. And then also when I was in St. Petersburg, the YouTube channel Tiny Home Tours toured my van. So that's another one that'll be coming up. Those were both really great experiences for me, and hopefully it'll give a little boost to my channel. Something else kind of cute happened. I was driving from Houston to Atlanta, and I stopped into a Waffle House. Now, most of the people that I travel with, they don't like to eat at Waffle House, but I thought, you know what? I'm here by myself and I like eating at Waffle House. I'm sitting there eating my breakfast. This young guy comes in with a group of 3 friends and he says, are you becoming Bev? And I said, yeah. And he says, how's Lenny doing? I watch your videos with my mom. So he wanted to stop and take a picture with me, and I took one of him, and I just thought it was so cute of him. He didn't care what his friends thought. He was gonna come up and say hi to me. All right, now let's talk about some of the lows in van life. So I would say that the worst thing that happened to me in the last 3 months is my fuel tank leak. That one, the timing worked out good because I had another trip planned in the middle, but that was an expensive repair. Yeah, so that fuel tank leak ended up costing me almost $2,000. Ouch. Another one of the lows was getting stuck in the mud. That one ended up working out okay too. I called AAA, thank goodness, and they pulled me out of the mud in about 40 minutes. I also had problems with my right front tire. It kept going low. Finally, I ended up at a tire shop to get that fixed, but it was a little scary. I was about 40 miles from the nearest town and just concerned that I was going to end up with a flat tire in the middle of nowhere with no phone service. Oh, a couple of other things happened too. I was pulling into a Burger King, and I know to be careful with the height of the van and parking garages. I wasn't thinking about being careful in the drive-thru, so I kind of tapped the little bar that says it's a 9-foot clearance. Apparently I need 10 feet clearance. This one just happened yesterday, and I know better. I know to do a walk around the van and to make sure everything is secure. I'm driving down the road and I look in the rear view mirror in the passenger side, and I notice my freaking cargo rack is like swaying behind me. I seriously had an oh shit moment. So I pulled over, and sure enough, I hadn't secured that cargo rack. I hadn't put the pin in or locked it into place. Fortunately, it all turned out okay, and nothing happened with that one either. I'm learning all sorts of lessons here. I guess another low would be before I got my heater situation figured out, and the night that I stayed in Guadalupe Park, it was 21 degrees. I was so freaking cold. Finally, I ended up buying a Mr. Heater Little Buddy, so that helped out a lot. I won't be suffering through the freezing cold anymore when I'm boondocking. Got that one figured out. And I look back now and I laugh at my first week in van life, my discombobulated video. If you haven't watched that, please go watch it. It's good for an absolute giggle. I had no idea what I was doing. I was digging stuff out of containers, trying to just find my way. I didn't know. I feel good about things now. I'm pretty well organized, got that all figured out. Everything I need I have at my fingertips instead of having to stop and dig things out of the bins in the back of the van. You learn as you go along. I guess another low would be one of the hotel parking lots that I chose. Looking back, I probably should have chosen a different one. It was really noisy and I didn't feel 100% safe there. There was a lot of activity in the parking lot. I probably should have moved along. Those were my personal real life picture of my van life highs and lows and a little bit of an evaluation of how the first 3 months have gone. I got my YouTube shirt on. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for being here. You keep watching and I'll keep posting content.